Yo, this is ExactoKnife, bro. Hopefully this video finds you doing amazing. I'm doing great. Just turned 23 today. I'm in the building. Let's get right, bro. All my gang know to drop the like, and all of y'all that enjoy the video and the work I put into this, drop a like. It's free. Watch the whole video if you can, or tab it up. It helps the channel out tremendously. And let's get into it today. Very special treat for y'all today, man. NBA 2K22 VC prices visualized and put into real life terms. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't the hardest, like, craziest math I've ever done. It was pretty straightforward, but it just helps y'all realize how badly we're getting scammed by this company. You know what I'm saying? Why I say the things I say on stream, and why I don't associate with certain people in the community that gawk 2K pretty much. You know what I'm saying? So let's get into it. General information, bro. The VC, the best way to get VC in terms of converting your money into VC is obviously buying the $100 package for 450,000 VC. The price for this has been, I'd say, has been stable since 17, but how much VC can do has changed greatly over the past 5 to 10 years in 2K. Greatly. And we're going to be talking about next gen VC prices, because I know a lot of y'all might be playing current gen, so you can do your own math for current gen. It's still bad on current gen, but it's the same thing as like 2K20 and 2K21. Next gen is going to be the future of 2K. So eventually, some of y'all going to have to let go of that little dirty ass, dusty ass PS4 and move on to an actual game. So, you know what I'm saying? Just letting you know, in the future, we got to prevent things before they happen. And as you see, they're already happening. So we got to be proactive about this. On next gen, it costs about 500 KVC per my player. Per player. And what that breaks down into is usually, depending on what you upgrade and how good of a player build you make and how many high attributes it has, it's going to be about between 400 and 450k for the attributes, depending on the build. That's the average that I've seen. And it's going to be up to 50k for animations. Now, if you're just a guard that does nothing but dribble, sure, if you want to test out some dribble moves and stuff like that, you want to buy all of them, it's going to cost you a little bit of money, like, but not 50k. But the dunks are so expensive. A lot of players have dunking on next gen, unless you're a 5'9", and the dunks, the contact dunks, there's like 45 different dunks. They split it all up and they all cost like 3,000 VC. It's crazy. So it's very expensive. And of course, this is not including clothes. A lot of people, there's so many clothes in the game, and a t-shirt costs you like 20,000 VC. Like, I'm not even trolling. Like a basic ass t-shirt be costing you so much money. And I'm not even talking about like the jewelry, the chains. I'm not even talking about the Gatorade and the boosts. Like the things that are really, really overpriced and shouldn't even be in the game and that we're charged for. So this is just for a player. Keep in mind, from an average park game, you're not even earning enough to buy yourself a fucking pack of boosts. But that's besides the point. VC generation. So knowing that, we need to make VC. So in my experience, VC is mostly just earned from just playing the game. There is things like quests, like on every new player, once you play like 5 up to 500 park games, which is a lot. Once you play 500 park games and you achieve certain statistical categories and like points and rebounds and whatever, you get those like city quests that help you unlock that penthouse and stuff like that, up to 1 million, you know what I'm saying? And it gives you like 5 to 10, sometimes 1,000 VC for completing each of those quests. But they take so long that by the time like you get how much, like 50k out of one player, out of maxing out one player, it's not worth it, bro. But you have to play a lot. You know what I'm saying? People be trying to make new builds every couple weeks or so to keep enjoying the game, because the game, it's not the worst game, but it's not the best game. And builds could keep the game alive, but 2K charges so much for builds that it's not even mentally possible to make one by just grinding the game. Like I said, the penthouse and stuff like that. So game modes. The main game modes is going to be Park, City 3v3, and 2v2, where you can earn VC in game modes. Pro-Am 3v3 and 5v5. And of course, the Rec Center 5v5. So I'm going to go over what the VC is like in all these game modes real quick. You know what I'm saying? And My Career, I mean, like, if you want to play My Career, I mean, it gives you a little bit of VC. I think it gives highest out of all of them, especially if you have an amazing performance. But it takes a long time. You're playing by yourself, and you're just sitting there doing nothing, bro. Like, the game should be enjoyed. Like Call of Duty, you're going to a public match, you upgrade your guns by playing the game. You know what I'm saying? You play the game and have fun to upgrade your weapons. That's literally the point of progression. You should not have to slave a basic task to do something to upgrade your player. So how much VC do we make off of playing these game modes? So the most popular game mode, the MyPark, the city, the neighborhood, whatever you want to call it, that is the most popular. I've found that you get, I know a lot of y'all might be playing with randoms and losing, or you're not that good at the game and you might be losing. A lot of y'all might be like me and you're winning a lot. So I kind of averaged it out because the win bonus is about 100 VC. So of that is 100 VC for winning. You get about 300 VC per game in the park. And that's barely enough to buy you a boost. You know what I'm saying, bro? That's tough. You know what I'm saying? That's really, really tough. The teammate grade is a big determining factor. So if you're a lockdown, somebody that sits in the corner, a guard that doesn't really have to pass the basketball, like if you just score really easy, you're being penalized for that as well. But we're just counting pennies at that point, you know what I'm saying? And then the performance and stats, like how much points, rebounds, assists you get, that's like a 1 VC for each. It's negligible. It's not even worth talking about. The games last about, on average, you would say 5 to 7 minutes on 2v2 and about 9 to 12 minutes on 3v3. So like I said, obviously 3v3 takes a long time. And this is not including waiting for games. It's just playing the actual game. You'll have different experiences depending on how good or how much you're trolling against the other team. So with the wait time between the games, while on next gen it is better than previous years, I will admit it is better. You do get more games, parks fill up more, there's more games, people are running less because of how the game locks you in with the shoot around and stuff like that. But still, it's not back-to-backs exactly, you know what I'm saying? It's definitely not back-to-backs, because I'm not chasing after games. I'll wait a couple minutes, 5 minutes, and that time adds up, you know what I'm saying? I recommend for people to keep busy while they play the game and do something else. Like I said, work on their schoolwork, if they have a side hustle, if they're writing a song, something like that. That's what I do while I'm playing 2K if I'm not streaming. And like the park is fun. I mean, what can I say? This is the most fun game mode. 2v2, 3v3 in the park is the most fun game mode. You can't argue with me about that. It's fun. It's fun to play this game. And people, for that reason, will be okay maybe not having the best player build ever, but just playing the game mode and not stressing about the VC or making a new build just because they're enjoying the game more. You know what I'm saying? And you also have to keep in mind, so let's say the average park game is 10 minutes, which is going to be for our calculations later. So that's excluding doing your Gatorade workouts, switching parks, chasing games. So we're being very, very generous. So that's like we're saying in the park, every game is a back-to-back. You're a streamer. You don't have to switch builds. You don't have to put on boosts. You don't have to change badges. Nothing. Every game just bop, 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 back-to-back. You know what I'm saying? And you're knocking them out just like that, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just like that, you're knocking them all out. And there's just people lined up to play you. So that's going to be for a master. This is going to be the best case scenario. So in the Pro-Am, you get more VC if you play a level or a rank that is higher. You know what I'm saying? If you level up your team, but that requires a lot of winning, and I understand a lot of people have that access to them. So I'd say on average about close to about 800 VC for some of the lower to intermediate levels in Pro-Am. But I mean, like I said, that's a lot better than Park, because we're talking about 3v3 as well. You know what I'm saying? It's the same with Park with the win and bonus and teammate grade and stuff like that. So as in the previous slide, 3v3 is way faster than Park, but the problem is you face real squads. Everyone that goes into Pro-Am has to know each other, and they have to make a team together, and they have to join up at the same time, and they have to, you know what I'm saying, queue up and play. So I'm not saying it's going to be the best talent you're going to face in here, far from it, but you're going to face people that are together and they're trying, which in the park, I wouldn't say a lot, but a good amount of games is just randoms, and you don't even have to worry about them for the most part. You know what I'm saying? 5v5, I would not recommend playing Pro and 5v5 unless it's for matchups or you're playing in money leagues, which you could earn that money from these competitive leagues if you're good like that, and you can buy VC with that if you really want to. I would not play 5v5 matchmaking ranked for any purpose or need whatsoever, although I think people do get games in here compared to some past years. You know what I'm saying? So the average game duration given no matchmaking downtime is going to be about 10 minutes, just like the park, except in here it's legitimately back to back to back, because, you know, as long as people are queuing up, and usually around at this time in the year where everyone has the game and people just playing the game, you're going to get games at any time of the night in a server like USA East, for example. So let's talk about the Rec Center real quick. The Rec Center, it gives 1k, if you have decent stats and you're playing with teammates that actually want to see you win, you'll have 1k VC every game, but at what cost? You know what I'm saying? There's a very low level of competition. Even if you go in with good 5 people, it'll match you against better talent that people still suck. Like, if you lose on the Rec Center unironically with people you consider to be your friends and good on your team, you might need to rethink who you're playing with. You know what I'm saying? So the wins are guaranteed. The only problem with the Rec Center, of course, a lot of times people don't want to play, and the ones that do get bored. You know what I'm saying? It gets boring. The Rec Center gets boring. It gives good rep, it gives great VC, It's chill, it's not competitive, but that's all the things that make it boring. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's not very exciting gameplay unless you just love 5v5 like that and just beating up on people by 100 points. And the game usually take about 30 minutes on average, but the bonus of that is whereas in a park game, a game might take 10 minutes and then your lockdown had 0 points, your center had 0 points, and as a guard you score 22. Usually everyone gets their high teammate grade, their stats, their blocks, their steals, you know what I'm saying, their rebounds, their screens, their threes, whatever they got to do, you know what I'm saying? So that is an advantage of the rec center. If you have a big friend group, if y'all want to play together, everyone will eat, you know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people that hit level 40 very fast because they just play rec together, and they level up fast and they stack up VC fast because they just play together a lot and they look out for each other. So, and when the other team quits, which can happen in a rec, it ends the game and then the VC is reduced with no win bonus. So let's do the math. So the park. Oh man, the park. So we take that 500 VC and we divide it by 300 VC. Just look at the difference. That is a 1,667 times ratio. So what does that translate to? That means they need that many games to earn at that rate of VC 500k VC. Now, and just to put that in perspective, how many games that is. The game came out last month. I mean, 2 months ago, and I have not even had that many games yet myself, and I'm a gamer. Let me put that in perspective. ExactoKnife does not have this many games. My main center doesn't have this many games. So we take those 10 minutes that we said, this is the best case scenario for a threes game. You know what I'm saying? The best case scenario. And we multiply that by that number and we get that. We divide it by 60 and we get the hours of how many hours it takes to get one player. And keep in mind, you need to have a player that is capable of playing in any game mode to even grind VC from just playing the game. In my career, in park, I don't care where. If you're a 60, a 70, even like anything below an 80, you're not doing nothing. You're not doing nothing, bro. Nothing. You're not doing anything. You're not going to be winning. You're not going to be having good teammate grade, good stats, nothing. This game is very well tooled and set up to make people unable to make budget builds like that. Only once you get into like the mid to high 80s, that's when you can say, okay, I made a budget build. You know what I'm saying? Because I only filled out the certain important categories to meet. And that translates into real life time of 11.6 days. So you need to play 11.6 days straight on this game to earn the VC to upgrade one player. Yeah, I'll be the judge of that, bro. You know what I'm saying? And we're not even talking about my team. We're not even talking about, what do you call that shit? We're not even talking about, like I said, cloves. We're not even talking about like all the DLCs that come. We're not even talking about if mascot is going to be the rep reward for legend and they're going to cost like 300,000 BC each. We're not even talking about any of the rewards that you can buy. We're just talking about basic necessities. Like we don't not even talk about boosts and Gatorade. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. And if we do the math of dividing that same VC, that 500 VC costs about $100. Well, you know what I'm saying? 450k VC costs $100. If we divide that by the hours, that means 2K is reimbursing us for 36 cents an hour for playing the game. And looking at that number, you can look at it both ways. You can say we're getting scammed, or you could say, damn, 2K really should be charging more for their VC because the VC is low-key a good deal. It's for just 36 cents you can buy an hour of labor. But that's the mentality. That you think this isn't thought out? You think this is an accident? They have people that get paid to sit here and do this numbers. You know what I'm saying? To scam y'all and to take money from y'all. Because people start playing, they play, okay, for a day, 2 days, 3 days. Let's go! I hit 61 overall. You don't think they're gonna look at oh damn, wow, for just $100. Instead of sitting here for the next 5 years. And keep in mind, this game only lasts 1 year. Keep that in mind. 278 hours for one player for a game that is completely irrelevant in 1 year, and the servers go down in 2 years. Keep in mind, we're not talking about GTA here that's been out for 10 years and still going strong, and everything you've had from day one, you still have it. We're not talking about that. We're talking about a trash yearly game. That's crazy, bro. So, and the other game modes, obviously, Pro 33 is going to make you more money, but still, it's going to be 111 hours of back-to-back games to make you 500,000 VC, and that's considering you're winning and you're playing on a decent team and you're consistent. The Rec Center is going to take you almost as much as the Park, and the Rec Center, that's why I say don't play Rec Center for VC, because the Rec Center Imagine playing a quarter of 1,000 hours of Rec Center. I would go insane. I would go cuckoo for fucking Cocoa Puffs. It's a stage, like the stage. People always talk about the stage. There's a very small percentage of people that on this low skill game can go into the stage and not only get games on a court of importance, like a high VC court, but win every single game. The stage can make you lose VC, you know what I'm saying? The stage in past years where there has been a skill gap has been a viable source for like the top players to go in and get VC, but this year like anyone can lose, bro. I don't even consider a stage to be a good way of getting VC. If you're way above average, I'd say, yeah, I mean, you could probably get a little bit of VC, but at what cost? You're gonna have to have great teammates. There's only certain times you can play it because otherwise it's not populated. It's crazy, man. And like I said, yeah, if you're the best on the game, I guess. And keep in mind, with all these estimates, this is very, very generous. This is the best case scenario for how much time it will take you, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. So let's look at the real life application, man. So I'd say the average player on 2K, and y'all can let me know in the comments how much y'all play the game and how so far has your experience been with the game. Gets on the game for about 10 hours a week. Some way less, some way more. I'd say I'm way more. I do about 4 to 5 hours a day on stream, you know what I'm saying, live on my channel. And some are way less. Some people just play really, really casually. Do these people, like I said, I'm not asking 2K for to make it like the game easier for them or anything. I'm just saying that they should at least have a chance to like have a decent player. Like say if you only play a couple hours a week, by like Christmas you should at least have to have like a decently upgraded player from just playing the game. Like you paid $80 to $100 for the actual game. You should be able to play the game. You can't play the game on anything under an 85. It's not possible. It doesn't matter if you have badges or not. You know what I'm saying? The neighborhood is by far the popular game mode, and as you see, it gives the least VC. Y'all think that's a coincidence? The most fun game mode gives the least VC. The least, by far. And takes the longest to upgrade your player in. Not a coincidence, bro. You know what I'm saying? And if we do the math, for an average player to hit level 99 via not buying any VC and just playing the game, if they play 10 hours a week for one player, and this is implying they had a player to play on to begin with, it will literally take them over half a year. And this game lasts 1 year. Over 50% of the game's duration for one player. This amazing player builder, all these options, right? And you can barely get one player upgraded this year. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, nothing carries over to the new game at all. You know what I'm saying? And the servers go down after 2 years on the dot. You know what I'm saying? With 2K. That's how it is, bro. And the conclusion is, chat, I understand why casuals are mad and complaining. I see it now. I see the bigger picture. Hopefully we can somehow find a way to fix this. I don't know what we can do because it's only going to get worse. It's not going to get better. Things will go worse before they get better. That's a good rule of life to live by. If you made it to the end of the video, you're my gang. Appreciate everybody for watching. Like the video if you liked the video. Recommend it to a friend. And I'm going to catch y'all in the next one. Peace out.